Good afternoon, everyone. This is Kamran Mir. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to present my research work, which is on formative mobile assessment in distance learning in this AAOU 2018 conference. Uh, the topic of my research is formative mobile assessment in distance learning. As you can see on the screen, it's a use of mobile and SMS. My presentation will cover a brief introduction about me, my current research, what is the problem statement, and what were the research objectives, and what was the methodology used, and the development and experimentation of this research, and followed by the quiz results and survey results, and conclusion and my future work. As far as my personal introduction is concerned, right now I am doing my PhD in computer science, and my research domain is STSS, which means Spatial Distance Support System for Open and Distance Learning, Analytics, and related technology-related distance education things. Currently, I'm working as Assistant System Programmer (ICT) in Allama Iqbal Open University, Pakistan. Previously, I've done my master's in Remote Sensing and GIS, and my master's in Computer Science from Allama Iqbal Open University. The introduction to my research will be based on distance education, and in distance education the topic is assessment, and if we dig down more, it comes under the formative assessment and the mobile assessment. As every one of you already know about the distance education, why it is becoming more popular nowadays. The trend of distance education is becoming more and more denser as compared to previous past, because of the people are getting more busy, they have less time, they cannot travel and visit the institute to learn. So distance education is basically a form of education in which the students do not attend the regular classes, rather they study at home or office, utilizing the tools of study provided to them by the institute. The same case is the example of my presentation. Right now I'm traveling right today, so I'm not able to reach, so I'm doing this presentation online, maybe, and recording it for you. And according to some other research, to monitor the students' progress, assessment is also important. The assessment activities are performed, the manual interactions between the tutor and distance learner is not sufficient, and it should be improved using ICT. And the use of ICT, if you see in the developing countries, it is more needed to use the existing ICT infrastructure to accommodate the students who are living in the forefront or the remote areas. So the educational institutes use variety of assessment methods, which includes formals and sometimes electronic tests. And assessment does not mean about talking about taking test only. It is a assessment. It includes assessment of knowledge, skills, and attitude as well, according to Anglo and Cross. So if we come dig more about assessment, so you people know better because I am more technologist rather than educationist. So that's the type of assessments are diagnostic, which is done before the session, and the formative, which is done during the session, and summative, which is done at the end of the session, and adaptive is the hybrid model, which adapts itself according to the scenario. So my focus area is on formative assessment, because formative assessment is used for quick student feedback, and the use of short messaging technology, short messaging service, SMS technology for educational purposes is getting popular in many countries, especially the developing countries. I will again focus on this thing. In developing countries, the use of SMS is more, because SMS is like portable, it is used at every phone. The use of smartphone is less as compared to the normal phone because of the poverty and the other factors. So the use of internet is less as compared to the normal mobile usage. That's why SMS is getting more popularity. So mobile learning is rapidly gaining position in distance education and ODL because of its low cost implementation, and the SMS technology can be used to conduct formative assessment in distance learning. This is the main focus. Like in Pakistan, the use of SMS is more as compared to the internet. So we can exploit, we can use the existing technology to conduct the formative assessment. So these are the statistics which is showing that in Pakistan, there's around 73% penetration, like 73% density of telephonic cells, mobile users, which is 152 million users. And if you see the 3G and 4G users, they are 59 million, and the normal broadband users are 62 million. There's a huge difference between the broadband users and mobile users. So 152 million means like 73% of the population, they are using the mobile infrastructure, and if the majority don't have the smartphone, so they have the SMS technology, which can be used for formative assessment. So what is the existing research going on? According to Yusuf, he says the mobile learning has a dual benefit of student-teacher contact can be increased. And according to Masood, in 2004, he said complete switching from e-learning to m-learning will create problems. So he suggests dynamic and hybrid models. And according to Motley, in 2008, he said m-learning would be more efficient than e-learning for developing nations. This is the same point focused that for developing nations, mobile learning is more better than the e-learning because of the more use of mobile rather than the internet or computer use. According to Peter, he says mobile learning is just in time, just enough, and just for me. And same, he says SMS technology saves the precious time of students and teachers. And media format is one of the critical factors in distance education system, and the contents for mobile learning must be carefully designed to keep them simple. This is more critical. It is not easy to switch all the content towards mobile, so you have to be mobile friendly to make the content which is compatible with your mobile, so that student can look and feel the same as the teacher is want to convey the message. According to Belawati, he says the SMS can be used to overcome the accessibility and interactivity problems. And similarly, the mobile assessment can greatly facilitate the existing assessment process, and it encourages the learners. So, what was the problem statement? Actually, the potential of SMS technology in distance education using the formative assessment is not fully explored in Pakistan context and international context as well. So the objectives of this research was to develop a prototype mobile assessment software application which is capable to conduct a mobile formative assessment activities on SMS. So this application was tested on AR Allama Iqbal Open University students, and after the application survey satisfaction survey was also conducted to test the technology acceptance model for the mobile assessment. What were the delimitations? It was that it only covers the formative assessment. It only supports MCQs, and it was done on only Islamic Balkan University students. There was no plagiarism control, and results may be considered as an indicator rather than binding. So what was the methodology used? Literature review was studied, and the tool and the software was developed. Later on, its pilot implementation was done on Islamic Balkan University students, and the technology acceptance survey was conducted from the same student, and the result was analyzed. So these are the technologies which were used to develop the software. PHP open source, on the back end MySQL was the database, and SMS web service were used to send and receive the SMS. This is the basic technical architecture where tutor is a teacher, he who is managing the application, where he creates the quiz, and there's an application server and a ABC mobile company server through which SMS is going through the telecom network, and students are using this, like responding to the quiz using their existing smartphones or the normal phones. This is the three-tier architecture model where you can see the modules of the mobile assessment application. It has assessment receiving module, sending module, course module, student module, tutor module, and the result module. On the right side, you can see the client tier, which is the tutor and the students, and the data tier, which is based on the database and the SMS server. To encrypt the data, because it has the personal information like mobile phone number, so the encryption technique was also used, and the encryption method, advanced encryption standard AES standard, was used to encrypt the data which is stored in database. So anyone who access the database, they're not able to view the mobile numbers or the personal information of student or even the tutor. Only computer knows because it is in encryption format. This was the population and the sampling method. So I selected few courses from which are basics of ICT, IT applications, TEFL, compulsory English course, research methods, and a compulsory English course 1423. So the total enrollment in spring 2013, it was 54,000, and around 54% of the students had mobile numbers in our database, which becomes 29,509. And Request was sent to 5% students, 1,521 students to participate in this quiz, and around 18%, which becomes 277 students, only responded, agreed to participate in this research, and only 36% who actually responded. 277 students agreed to participate in the research, but who actually participated in the whole research, they were 101, which becomes only 36%. This is the sample quiz from the BA level course where I drafted few questions, MCQs questions. So what were the problems after implementing unavailability of mobile numbers, invalid wrong mobile numbers, numbers in you of parents and elders? Because in Pakistan, especially in remote areas, females, they usually don't give their phone numbers, or sometimes they don't have their phone numbers. So this is the problems, and for future while implementing, we should consider these constraints. And difficulty in understanding the SMS reply format. So we have to give training to the students, or difficulty in understanding the English language, and many other factors. These are the results. Around 183 from 183 students, 94 students were female and 277 were from 277, 183 were male and 94 were female. So this is the graph showing the students who responded to the quiz based on gender wise. So if you see, the male responded more as compared to females because of the social constraints in Pakistan. These are the results: gender wise participation in course wise. This was a survey which was conducted after the quiz. So the survey, what it shows, it was responded by 69 participants, and 61% was male and 39% were female, and 76% belonged to the urban area and 24% belonged to the rural areas. The leading age group was 18 to 30, that is 72% of the total 72% of the total participants. So if you see the technology acceptance survey result, majority of the students agreed that this technology, this formative assessment is the quickest method. They agreed with this statement that it is the quickest thing, but they also agreed on the that it is the plagiarism risk. It is high risk plagiarism. It is complex, and majority of them agreed training is required before implementing such a kind of technologies. This is the generic satisfaction, which shows that 54% were satisfied and 33% were highly satisfied. So the majority portion, like 7, 73 and 70 to 80% agreed with this, were satisfied with this. Specific conclusion includes mobile assessment application was successfully developed and implemented, and indicates 87% of students were satisfied, and only 36% responded to the SMS, which relates to the what the problems indicated, not having the correct mobile number, not having the mobile number of their own. So such issues should be considered while implementing such things. And female participation is less, 30% as compared to male students. So it is also suggested to take necessary measures to build their confidence in using this service. The general conclusion includes that formative assessment can be used, like we can use the SMS technology to conduct the formative assessment. It will reduce the time and cost for the institute in communicating with a large group of students, and the quizzes, being the essential component of the semester system, were missing in the distance learning, especially in Alama University, which can be used, which can be covered with the use of this technology. Mobile learning has a great potential for the developing countries, and the using of mobile phone, like it can solve the assessment method problems identified. The use of SMS service has helped in teaching and learning. Now it can be applied in assessment as well. So it is recommended to conduct awareness sessions before implementing, to conduct workshops for the use of this system. And at admission level, it is important to for the student to give the valid and mobile numbers. Mandatory, it should be mandatory to give the mobile number, and there should be a mechanism to verify that it is the valid mobile number. Future work can be done on the MCQs and plagiarism side and other related surveying and voting. Thank you very much. If you have any question, you can ask, email me, and even you can ask Dr. Zaid Majid. He can also guide you accordingly. Thank you very much.